What's up, Dual Coast fans? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Dual Coast Podcast. I didn't get it in right there, and Russ,
keeping him accountable, keep him in check.
Accountable. It's my accountability right there. How's everybody doing this morning on this fine morning? How you feeling over there?
Doing great, man. I'll tell you. Shower day, wet rat look today. It's podcast starting at 6:30. There's a difference between waking up at 4:50 as opposed to 5:30. So, I don't want to wake up early to have to shower for a 5:30 a.m. So you get the hat in the morning.
Got it.
Yeah. What about you? What's your excuse?
I have no excuse. It's 9:30 in the morning here on the East Coast. So I have no excuse. But this is my classic attire, so I'm going to rock it.
Yeah. Right on, man.
Classic dual coast hair.
Yes. Oh, man.
So tell us.
Start.
Oh, yeah, great start. We have a very special guest coming up in a few minutes, guys. Josh Friedman. He's going to talk about a lot of stuff on entrepreneurship, fitness, transformation, and we're going to get to him in just a minute, but we got a little something from that Russ wants to talk about for a second. So, Russ, tell us a little bit about that.
Awesome, man. Thanks so much, Dan. Next Gen Visionaries is a group that I started back in January, and it is a community of people right now that we go online one time a month for 45 minutes. And on this, which is actually next Tuesday, and there's a fee to be a part of it, but it's not a massive amount. But the most important part of it is community. The most important part of it is that it's called Next Gen Visionaries. Next Gen Visionaries is about creating visionaries for the immediate future and for your future, whether it's your family, whether it's your business, whether it's your lifestyle, whatever it is. We want to create, the whole goal is creating visionary leadership, because in our world today, what do we lack? We lack vision. What do we do with most of our time? We spend it on here. We're scrolling. We're not creating vision for what we want to accomplish. This guy today, Josh Friedman, I'm guarantee we're going to talk about this, but this is an opportunity for you guys to check in and see what Next Gen Visionaries is all about, because this community that I'm creating is all about building relationships with one another. We got people from around the country that are a part of this. Anybody can be a part of this. 45 minutes a month. Time is not the excuse that you have, that I don't have 45 minutes a month. We go through, we work through a workbook. We go through, we create our vision for what we want to see in the next 3, the next 6 months, the next year. What do we want to do with our lives? Let's think bigger than who we are. We all have this imagination. Let's use it. Let's all dream bigger. Let's all create a vision and a purpose for where we want to go in life. So I want to ask Dan, who's a part of Next Gen, what has been your experience, Dan, with being a part of Next Gen Visionaries?
Yeah, so Russ started this a while ago, guys, and it's something that me and him talked about off air a few times, and prior to him starting it. And it's an incredible group. It has an incredible amount of people in it. It's really transformational, in all honesty. You go in there, we work through a workbook. You have an incredible network of people around you at all times. And it's not just working through the workbook. It's things that you could bounce ideas off each other. You could run business ideas across each other. People from all different realms, all across the United States, probably trying to venture out in different countries, I would assume Russ is going to say at the same time. Amazing community. We still talk even all the time on a chat. Russ, right? The chat is continuously ongoing, simultaneously off Next Gen. It's an amazing time. Really transformational. I think it allows a lot of people to get out of their comfort zone simultaneously. Those who don't like a little bit of public speaking, and maybe those who don't like putting their ideas out there. It creates a community that's a bit of a safe space for everyone. And I think it's a great idea. And I think Russ is really doing a great thing with it.
Awesome, man. Thanks so much. And, it's not about just, me speaking and me pouring into your life. That is part of it. Yeah. But it's an opportunity for people to share with one another their experience. So we're learning from one another, and we're building relationships outside of this community, which is absolutely amazing. So check it out. DM me on Instagram at Russell Rogers Official. Russell Rogers Official. Check it out. I'd love to have you be a part if you're considering wanting to do something like this, creating a bigger vision for yourself. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate you guys listening.
Absolutely.
And without further ado,
we have an incredible guest right now backstage, Mr. Josh Friedman. We're going to bring him to the stage in just a second. Russ, tell us a little bit about Josh for a second here.
Oh, man, I met Josh as a kid, probably about 10, 11 years old, somewhere in there prior to high school. And, he was just like a normal, little kid and just loving the game of baseball, having just an amazing time. And so Josh and I connected then. I coached him for a couple of years, and then we followed each other through high school. Our sons were on different high school teams, so they were competitors for 4 years. Then after that, we kind of lost touch, and Josh has basically reinvented his life. And you're going to hear all about peptides. You're going to hear about High Rock. You're going to hear about reinventing himself in business. And he is an amazing guy with a lot of energy, and recently got engaged, which we're going to hear about it.
He's getting amped back there. I can see him getting amped.
Let's go. Bring him on.
Without further ado, Mr. Josh Friedman coming to the stage right now.
Good morning, fellas. How we doing? How we doing?
Dude, I just hyped you up, baby.
Hyped him up, man.
I'm hyped up. My fiance brought me an espresso. I'm alive, right?
That is awesome, man.
Yeah, I can't complain. We're living out here in Scottsdale, Arizona, so it's getting real crispy and warm out here. But hey, that's all right. I'd rather it be beautiful and sunny 300 days out of the year than rainy, wet, and cold and freezing. But weather's just circumstance, you know.
Well, just to bring you back to this area of Santa Cruz, as much as you liked it, I'm looking out right now and it's foggy. So you remember those June gloom days.
that NorCal fog. I miss Northern California at times. You know, Scottsdale's great. It's beautiful. There's a bunch of entrepreneurs, like-minded individuals. It's clean. It's easy to get around, but doesn't have the beach. And
no, it does not.
Russell knows that I love the ocean because I'm from Santa Cruz, of course. You know, I grew up on the water. But yeah, we're doing good. I appreciate you guys having me on today, and I'm excited to get into some of those topics and kind of just let the conversation flow.
Yeah, man. 100%.
So awesome, man. So I was just talking about you and kind of introducing you off stage, but you and I connected through baseball when you were just, pre-high school, and it was amazing. My son and you played together. I coached you guys, and then, from the travel team. And then from there, you went on and played at Santa Cruz High School, and my son and you were, competitors, but we stayed in touch. And then after that, kind of lost touch with one another, and you went on with life and everything. And so I want people to know, let's get to know who Josh Friedman was before you are right now, because we're going to have plenty of time to talk about that. Yeah. But let's talk about those early years of what you did. Let's go post high school. After high school, you got done with baseball. Fill us in on what happened with Josh Friedman.
Yeah. So after college or after high school, I had a couple really good years there, Russ. I know, back on the waves. Was it the waves? No.
Yes.
Yeah, back on the waves. I hadn't really hit my stride yet.
No.
Like I wasn't that good. Kind of sucked. And anyway, I ended up getting better in my junior year of high school. And man, I really wanted to go try to play at Chico State, some D3 baseball, something like that. But then I tore my rotator cuff senior year boxing one of my friends. So one of the stupidest ways to tear your rotator cuff. And anyway, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go to college to make friends and party and get a degree. That's what I told my dad. And yeah. So I went to Chico State, and man, I had, I would say, one of the best 4.5 years of my life, but also one of the most detrimental. Went out there and I just had a blast, made so many friends and was in intramural sports, but I was a party animal out there. I joined a fraternity within the very first or second semester of being there. And I found partying, and man, I've always been a passionate guy, and I just put all my passion and energy into that. And I'm really glad that I didn't get hurt or anything, but I was crazy, like crazier than just a couple drinks crazy. And so anyway, I went to Chico State, and I was always getting good enough grades to get C's and B's, but I was not a good student. Something I look back on now. I didn't have a lot of appreciation for the education that was in front of me. So I have a lot of regrets, but at the end of the day, like, made so many connections, so many friends. And, I got a lot of it out of my system. And I ended up later on in life, a couple years after college, getting a little bit quicker to realize, like, hey, this is done. Right. So anyway, I had a blast in college. And then I got my shit kind of figured out junior year. And I started doing door-to-door sales. In junior year, I started doing solar sales door-to-door, and I was a killer. I had my own team, and they promoted me before the guys who were like 28. So they all hated me there. I got all my fraternity brothers knocking doors. We were drinking a couple beers, knocking doors, but we were great at it. And so anyway, that was like the first job, a real job that I had that took skill and that wasn't just like an hourly wage, where I was like, damn, like, okay, I have a skill here. I'm good at sales. I'm good at connecting with people. So that was really cool. But like I said, from there, kind of locked in on figuring out, hey, I want to get a really good job out of school. I studied business, and so business marketing. So I knew I wanted to go into sales. But yeah, fitness was always in the background the whole time. Got into sales though out of college, went down to Santa Monica and worked with at Oracle NetSuite. So I was selling software, financial management software right out of college. Got a great job right out of college. Jetted down to LA, didn't know anybody, and started my my professional career there. And did that for about 2.5 years. And then COVID hit, and the story can continue from there. It kind of changes routes around 2021, but I was continuing to kind of bring those bad habits from college into post grad, Los Angeles, corporate lifestyle, saving no money, going out every weekend. A lot of those bad habits I learned from Chico continuing on at that time of life.
Wow. That's amazing. Going back to those early days, my son and you, and I will
Bubba.
say, Bubba, you hadn't hit your stride yet, but in high school, I definitely saw some growth in you as a ball player. Seeing you elevate your game, you started to lengthen out, getting some height, getting some strength. Yeah. And, Santa Cruz High had a good program. It was kind of a unique ball field as well. It was kind of like the Fenway of the league. It was kind of this built-in stadium. It was awesome. So I always loved going to Santa Cruz and playing there, and you could just back your truck up right behind home plate and watch the game if you wanted. But it was but amazing, and I knew back then like there would be some potential. I had no idea, with kids, and you lose touch and lost touch with a lot of kids, but to now see you, my daughter connected us because she was following you, and she goes, you got to check out Josh Friedman. So then all of a sudden I'm like looking in, I'm like, holy smokes, man, you're doing some amazing things. Now let's jump forward. We're fast forwarding to now. Okay. Just recently got engaged. Yep. And traveling all over. You're tatting yourself up. I got to hear the experience of the leg thing. You please tell us, because it looked extremely painful when you tatted out your leg. Was it?
That was the worst experience of my life. I do not recommend doing that for anybody listening. I was in Bali, Indonesia, and I got an entire leg sleeve, and my leg's pretty thick in 3 days. So 3 back-to-back 10-hour sessions. They're heavy-handed out there, those guys. It's a very dark style, large-scale black and gray tattoo. So yeah, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. After day one, I was sick. I was sweating. I was terrible headache. I was just like, why did I do this? But at the end of the day, like, all complaints aside, that's not really what I'm about. I committed to it. I was like, you know what, we're doing this. Like, obviously I'm not going to back out. And yeah, we powered through, and now I have the whole leg in 3 days, where some people take years to get their leg done. But definitely, if you're going to do it, give yourself a couple days after. Don't get right back on a plane. Swelled up like crazy, and my doctor was like, I don't know if that was the best idea, Josh. You could have known you could get a blood clot. But
my gosh. Yeah, I know, Dan,
I commit. I'm that's the kind of guy I am. Whether it's when I figured out quickly that I want to do online coaching, and I quickly invested $10,000 that I didn't have. I'm a betting man, and I like to bet on myself. So like, if I'm going to do something, I just go all in to a default.
Yeah, that was commitment. I like that.
Yeah, but
was there like a specific moment in your life that you said that pushed you toward this fitness entrepreneurship? Was there a shifting moment there?
Yeah, so got fired from that Oracle job in late 2020, midst of COVID, and I just was sitting there. I realized that I hated being told what to do. I hated corporate. I wanted something bigger for myself. Russ, you mentioned vision. I believe if a man doesn't have a vision, he doesn't have anything. I didn't have any vision for my life. I didn't even really know what vision was in reality. But yeah, I just knew there was some incongruency, that I wanted to do something that created a lot of impact. I wanted to do something on my own, build my own legacy. Again, I didn't like being told what to do. I've never liked being told what to do. And working for someone else, I'm like, I got to figure something out. So yeah, the wheels started turning there. And as I continued to get in great shape, and fitness has been my first true love. I started lifting weights freshman year of high school, even 8th grade a little bit. As my parents were going through a divorce, I remember I was angry, I was confused, I was pissed, and found the gym and started lifting weights, and came into freshman year in high school, and then sophomore year, and I put on a good amount of weight. So anyway, but it was COVID. COVID went, while a lot of people let their life wither away and excuses, I built my life in COVID.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when did you actually start your coaching business?
2022.
Okay.
Officially is when I launched Friedman Fit. Before that, I was coaching some buddies and a couple people local in Santa Monica on the beach. So I was doing some in-person training. I didn't have a business though. I didn't have an LLC. I just had a side hustle.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, 2022, I built it up. And so now it's 2026, obviously. What is that? That's year 5. I'm not a big time guy. Yeah, 2022 started.
That's amazing. Not everybody has that drive. My dad always told us, my brothers, if you can work for yourself, that is the best avenue that you can take. And yes, there are some negatives and everything, but I have worked for other people, and I too work for myself, and it was the greatest advice that my dad gave me, gave us brothers, to all work for ourselves, and we all do. We are independent owners, operators, and we just have that inclination. My dad didn't finish high school; he dropped out at 16. Ended up, with a construction company for 60 years. It was, and so I look at that and say, yeah, let's do that. And I had no idea, because I was kind of one of those guys that worked for companies, worked for a church, worked for an orphanage, always working. But the greatest experience has been the last 25 years of my life working for myself. So I give you props, Josh, for stepping out during COVID, post COVID, doing what you're doing, because you are creating a vision for yourself and what you want for you and your future wife and for your future family, and when I look at that, I look at your posts and I just see all that you're doing the high rocks, you're developing yourself, and you've created it from nothing. And so my hat is off to you, man, because not everybody can do what you're doing.
Well, I appreciate that, Russ. And I'm curious to hear about what you've been doing the last 25 years too, because I came across your page. I know Samantha connected us, and I was like, man, that's my old coach. Like, I don't remember him doing this kind of stuff. Like, that's so cool. Look, I see you speaking and doing, similar stuff in your own facet and in, a different niche or in a different environment in Santa Cruz and than myself. And it's really cool. So I want to hear what you've been up to as well. But yeah, I mean, I believe we all have skills, and if you can understand how to tap into those skills and help other people get better at those skills, then you got a business. And if you have a gut desire to do something, a calling from God, you have to do it, and you're disobeying if you're not doing it. So there's an incongruency there. If you're disobeying, you're going to be out of alignment. You're going to be disobedient to the greater good, and things aren't going to go as how they could. But now, if you follow the path, then you can create the life of your dreams and help a lot of other people live a better life too. So yeah, people just don't think bigger. It's like ingrained in our system, obviously, to get a job and go to school, get a job. Who are you going to work for? Like what career are you going to do? But especially this day and age, oh my gosh, we are living in a gold rush. There are so many ways to make money that are not the typical 9 to 5. The 9 to 5 is actually getting like almost old. It's outdated, and you're going to see that more and more as time goes on and as AI continues to evolve.
It's outdated, Dan. That's why he works from like 7 to 7.
Outdated, yeah. Outdated. That's why I work longer.
Yeah, I know. I was up late this morning, huh? Left in compared to Russ over here. He said 4 o'clock.
I was up 4 a.m. Yeah.
You know, that's something I got to continue to cultivate, that sharpness now. What is it? I'm year 5 into my entrepreneurial journey. I'm still hungry, but I'm not as dangerous. I'm not as like that feeling of when you're at the bottom, you're building, you don't have much money in your accounts yet, just hungry. You got that dog, right? You have nothing to lose. And that energy I really fed off of for the first 2-3 years of business. And then life started getting really good. Everything kind of came together at once, and I got a little comfortable. So we've been rewiring the last year or so, and I'm still working my ass off, but I don't have as much of like nothing to lose anymore. You got to find different things that are going to motivate you and get you to that next level, because what you get to get to the first level is not going to get you to the second or third or fourth.
Yeah, we have a mutual friend, Dan Sikowski, that he basically changes coaches every year.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that he, it's because everybody has, different means of communicating to get your attention, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I've had 4 different coaches.
Really?
That's awesome.
Yeah. 3,000, 40, 45, maybe $50,000 in reinvestment in myself and the business.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Way to go, man.
The key.
You got to do it.
You have to do it. Everyone, most people miss that. And investing in yourself is the greatest decision of your life. And why would I take 3 years to do something I could pay for and take 6 months to figure out? Like that's
Yeah.
So you said something key too there, that you were out of alignment. You brought yourself back into alignment with this business. I feel like a lot of people, and we have a mutual friend too, Craig Siegel, who talked about being in alignment all the time. And I think that's something that's key that a lot of people don't have in their lives. They keep themselves out of alignment and do something that doesn't really align with what they want to do. I understand not everybody loves what they do all the time. Some people do, I guess, but you have to be in alignment with it. Like fitness was within alignment to you. It's something that made sense to you. It's something that always grew with you, and you were able to transform it into something big. You agree with that? Like you wanted to be in alignment with that?
Yeah. I mean, everything was out of alignment back in before COVID, and in that first year of COVID, I was so out of college. I think I was 22, 21. I was 22 to 24 and a half.
Yeah.
Partying, doing drugs, random sex, just not in alignment at all. I thought I'm having fun. I'm a player. I have a lot of friends, but that combined with the job I was doing, which I just didn't fulfill me, and half of my week being hungover, I just looked in the mirror one day, and a couple things that kind of led to it, but I was just like, I had a vision of myself, 35, fat, addicted to substances, and just hating my life. And I said, that's not going to be me. And so it was a lot of misalignment, right? There was a lot of areas where I was just like, I don't want to live like this. I want to do different stuff. I don't want to be drinking and a man of my vices. So I made a complete 180. Like people tell you that went to college with me, that know me now and have followed my whole journey. They're like, dude, I don't like, literally Josh spent a year, 2 years. I went sober. I started reading a bunch of books, podcasts, best shape of my life, insane shape. And like I said, I made a complete 180 and started rewiring my brain and subscribing to different things and desubscribing to other things. So I don't know. I just have this ability to, when I go all in, I go all in. But that was the most beneficial year of my life, like 25 years old. And a lot went down.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's amazing, man.
Well, like I mentioned before, earlier, is that I was kind of disappointed you showed up in a collar shirt today, because
This is a lax podcast.
this guy is shredded, man. Not that I expect you to come shirtless, but
I
Josh
have
has invested.
calls before. That's
But this guy's shredded. I want to let's talk about let's go into peptides.
okay.
Let's talk about that, because you're a big proponent, and I know Dan is probably loaded with some information and questions for you and all that. But what transitioned for you to get you into peptides, and what has peptides done? Because as far as I know, it's not USDA approved, or maybe some of them.
Yep.
Say again. You cut out.
FDA approved.
Yeah, FDA. Sorry. And so it's not FDA approved. And so what is it? What is it that got you into it? Why are you such a big proponent of the peptides? And what is it doing for you physically and mentally?
Yeah, I mean, so peptides, there's hundreds of different peptides, right?
Right.
And there's chains of amino acids that send signals to certain parts of your body. These peptides are already in your body to some degree, and they speak to a similar spot when you put them in your body, right? And that's what they do, is they help optimize whatever that specific signal is meant to optimize. I mean, I've always been a big supplement guy, a big health guy. Like I said, I found the gym when I was 15 years old. So I've been working out, taking supplements, and looking for ways to enhance my energy and my physique. Even before that, right? Like, I don't know if you remember my mom, Denise Diani, right? Like, oh my gosh, she's amazing, right? She started us on all holistic, natural path.
I remember.
Right? All types of different tinctures, Chinese medicine. And so she's incredibly knowledgeable. And so is my father as well. I don't mean to leave him out either. So I came from, he's a doctor, he's a DO, she's a PT and also a healer. And so I came from taking vitamins at 3 years old. I've always been taking handfuls of things to make my life better. And so it's been in my DNA to, be the anecdotal experiment. So yeah, like peptides came around and I started experimenting with them, doing a lot of research into them. And yeah, I felt amazing. My energy was through the roof. My blood work was the best blood work I've ever gotten. And so I just saw like, wow, okay, like these things really work. Yeah, I mean, we don't know long term what could be a possible side effect to them, but I mean, pick your poison. I'm incredibly healthy. My blood work is some of the best blood work my doctor's ever seen. And look, I think it's a lot more unhealthy to eat crap food, drink alcohol, and be at 30% body fat, right? Those people are going to die, I believe, a lot sooner before me. So anyway, I like to take a little risk, but I don't think it's too much of a risk. Overall, I think we're going to see these peptides next to the milk, next to the butter, in everybody's fridge here in the next 3 years. They're going to be a household thing that we all use to get healthier. But yeah, I have some other opinions on them and the people that are just taking them willy-nilly. But yeah, I think peptides are great, and I think they're here to stay.
Yeah.
Russ was telling me you work in the medical field and that you like peptides too. So I'm curious to hear what you think about them.
Yeah, I'm a PA. So it's interesting. What you said is 100% true. I agree with that. Because if you look at it, like all fast food is approved. You can go to the McDonald's, Burger King, no problem. But you can't use this peptide because it's not approved yet. But it's amazing to me that like it just has a taboo around it still is the thing. There's no 10-year look back study. There's certain things that people are questioning. But I think, what's your take on the GLP-1s for a second? Do you a lot of your clients on the GLP-1s?
We have some clients on the GLP-1s. It depends. I mean, it's a very, very strong peptide. So starting it right off the bat isn't always the best move. Something I talk about a lot is the host taking the peptide their health matters, right? Like the health of the host.
Sure.
The host isn't doing the work. If they're very dysregulated, if they have a lot of things to optimize and to figure out within their own health, you don't just want to start throwing a bunch of peptides at them, right? And especially the GLPs, that it can really actually be a negative thing inside of their body and their biology. But I love GLPs. I think that they're amazing, taken correctly with the right nutrition, the right exercise protocols. That's what people don't know, and that's why there's problems, because people aren't eating enough. They're deficient in nutrients. They're getting osteoporosis and all these other things because they didn't know about nutrition to begin with. Now they're not hungry, so they're not eating at all. So they're causing a lot of issues. But yeah, I think that there's, semaglutide, right, and tirzepatide, they're all right, but I think the retatrutide is night and day, much better than either of those. And they can come with some side effects. Those ones are stronger peptides and shouldn't just be, oh, I'm fat, let's take it. Like
right. Yeah, no, I agree with that. You need all encompassing. You can't just take Reta either and then just think you're going to be great. You have to diet. You still have to train. You still have to do everything like that.
And it's a responsibility. You need to get blood work. You have to. Like people it's irresponsible. So some people might have some sort of side effect to it with your pancreas or your liver, your kidneys. And if you're not getting blood work 2-3 months after starting it and you're working with a physician who actually understands what to look for, then it's not good for you, right? It's not good for everybody. But people don't take that responsibility on when they take a peptide or when they take an anabolic or whatever it may be.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true. It's interesting too with Reta, because I have a couple of people who I know who are on Reta right now who are type 1 diabetics, and they've actually had better glucose control now than they've ever had without taking, their standard Novolog or Humalog or whatever they were on previously.
I've heard that story time and time again.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because they were even on semaglutide previously and didn't have as good a glucose control as they do on Reta. And it's interesting with Reta too because you have a triple agonist on there now. So you have a glucagon agonist that is pretty much retaining your lean muscle mass simultaneously as opposed to atrophying with training. So I think it has its taboo around it right now, but I think in the near future it's going to come way more to the marketplace. Even though it's already big right now, but I think it's still got a little bit of taboo around it. It's going to be really interesting in the next 12 to 18 months, I think, what happens with those.
Yeah, I mean, there's a money grab for it, right? Eli Lilly, I think they patented it,
right?
If I'm not correct. But you could, I am correct. Yeah. So, there's a money grab for it right now. That's why I was posting about peptides for a while, and then I believe that someone's paying Meta to censor people and to take people's posts off, and I started getting my account banned and had running into issues. I had to pay my hacker in Turkey a couple bands to get my account.
So, I like that.
Man.
And anyway, so there's a war on them. I believe they don't want people to be fully healthy. If everyone's walking around healthier, then the medical, the pharmaceutical companies aren't making as much money.
No, I agree with that. What's your take, real quick, on the recovery peptides? BPC 157, TB 500. What's your take there?
I mean, I really believe in most all of these peptides. They truly work if you're working, right? Like I said, the better the host, the better the peptide works. So the better sleep you're getting, the better your nutrition, the better your central nervous system is regulated, the better you're getting sunlight, right? All of your systems are playing nicely. You're doing strength training, weight training, and you're moving your machine, right? You're doing cardiovascular work, so your heart is getting worked out, your lungs. So the BPC, my shoulder has some issues. I take that one pretty much year round. I take little breaks, but I love the BPC. It's so many stories again and again of people saying, man, I've had this injury, this issue for a while. I started taking BPC and it's night and day better. And it's great for the gut too, as well. BPC is great. All the recovery ones. I love the GHKCU. I like the KPV. I like the BPC. Right now, I'm really into the mitochondria peptides. So the SS31, as well as the MOTS-C. So those are revamping and rewiring the mitochondria, which, is the cell, the power plant of the cell. And there's billions of cells in your body. So everything kind of falls back on the health of the mitochondria. And so, yeah, I've never been in better shape. I've never been healthier. I eat a ton of high quality food. I'm incredibly insulin sensitive, which is the key to your nutrition. And granted, I work out very hard. I do cardio, I run, I hike, I bike, I do weight training, and I've been doing it for years. But really seriously, I guess you could say, since I kind of figured things out, or not, we never fully figured things out, so I take that back. Yeah, it's like 2020, right? So I guess like 6 years of really hard training and paired with the nutrition. But that was a very long answer to your question.
That's what I wanted. That's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, have you used them? Do you like them, or do you have any negative stories around them?
I actually have no negative stories, and like, I'll be honest with you, I'm on Reddit right now. But I mean, as far as negative side effects, I've heard nobody say. I've heard some people say like they feel a little bit like off here and there, and some people are concerned about. I was actually talking to a buddy of mine yesterday, and him and his wife were trying to get pregnant. And he was asking concerns about that, like conception and things of that nature. And that I told him, to be honest with him, I said that's a little bit out of my realm. I don't want to answer that question because I don't really know, and I don't know if they have great answers on that stuff either yet. But I haven't heard of anybody having a true negative side effect at all on BPC, on TB500, on Retta, on GHK, on any of the recovery ones. I mean, I've heard of negative effects on semaglutide a little bit from people, getting nausea and gastric issues and things of that nature. But I mean, like you said too, it's all about the host simultaneously. It depends on what their diet looks like. Because I know people who have been on semaglutide and had like really big meals and everything like that. Like, oh, I felt so nauseous, this and that. I'm like, well, it could also be because you ate so-and-so on, tirzepatide or semaglutide simultaneously. But I do think that these are definitely the future of optimization and longevity in the future. I think this is where, the start of it, so to speak. I think it's going to come to more of the marketplace, like I said, over the next 12 to 18 months, maybe the next couple of years. But I agree with you, like you said. I think once a lot of these get FDA approval, and I think once the pharmaceutical companies take over as opposed to the compounding pharmacies right now, I think that's going to be the move, so to speak. Once the money shifts a little bit, I think it's going to come way more to the marketplace and be less taboo. And you'll get 10-year look-back studies. You'll get multiple studies, on each peptide individually. Because right now I feel like there's no like big study on BPC right now, or no big study on TB500. Once that comes to the marketplace and they have more funding towards them, I think that's going to be the looking. Each one is going to get looked at individually.
Yeah, I agree. We're going to know a lot more in depth and have lots of clinical trials and studies in the next 5 to 10 years. Quick note, anyone listening with the GLPs, because I've seen this time and time again. If you are on a GLP, you can't just eat whatever you want. That's what you think, because overall, technically you can, because you're not consuming as many calories. So it's really easy to stay in that calorie deficit. That's why people are losing weight, one of the reasons. But night and day difference if you are focusing on high protein, lean protein, and easily digestible carbohydrates, clean carbohydrates, compared to if you're hitting the taqueria, Los Gallos. We can't be hitting Los Gallos. Anyway, so if you eat GLPs do not agree with high fat, greasy meals. Every single time because I've taken retatrutide, I love using that periodically just to get really lean, and it's very easy to be in a calorie deficit. And there's other aspects. It really helps with your lipid panels and your inflammation in your body. Anyway, there's a lot of things that it does. But point being, greasy meals, high fat meals, your gastric emptying really slows on it. And if you have a lot of fat at that meal, oh man, you'll get a stomach ache. That's where people eat like half their food and they just feel sick, is because what they're eating is not high quality food. It's got a lot of grease and a lot of oils in it. So you really want to stick to high carb, high protein. You're more insulin sensitive on these GLPs, right? So your body processes basic clean carbohydrates so much better. And so anyway, you'll feel so much better if you eat just clean food, lean protein and carbohydrates on these GLPs compared to if you're, well, I didn't eat breakfast, I had a protein shake, so I'm just gonna eat whatever I want for dinner and feel like crap. So that's a big thing.
Yeah. What do you think, Josh? Like Redditude tried. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No.
Diet is so important. Diet is.
Yeah.
I'm a nutrition nerd, and I think that people don't know enough about food, and I think there's a big issue around that in this day and age. And well, I don't think I know. We all know. Look around. Go to the airport. But anyway, what were you saying?
No, well, my buddy says, you can't outwork a bad diet.
It's true.
Right?
It's true.
Yeah.
That's not what I was going to say, but go ahead.
Can't outlive it either.
No.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
No. Redditude tried Ozempic. That's out there. I've had friends that have taken Ozempic. You can only take Ozempic, for so long. For the person that's out there that's overweight, whether they put themselves into that position by just eating and doing nothing and living the sedentary lifestyle, or those who, genetically just have bodies that are just larger bodies, right? But what do you think about those people who just want to get on Redditude tried or Ozempic or something like that just to lose weight? Like, because in my mentality, it's like some people just don't want to put in the hard work.
Yeah.
Right. And so this is an easy alternative.
100%. I mean, that's if it was easy, you'd see everybody in good shape putting in the work. But that is a huge issue. And that's where you're running into people with issues around osteoporosis and other, health issues that are going to continue to occur. We're seeing one-off cases and people losing muscle mass, right? Metabolic dysfunction and disorder, hormone dysregulation through that happening. And so if you're one of those people, you're in for a laundry list of issues, right? You always got to think of what is this decision causing down the road, right? If people just want that instant gratification, but the harder it hits, the more the instant gratification, the more the punch you're going to have later on in life. So anyway, it's just the world we live in. People want the quick fix. People want the easy route. They don't want to put the work in. And, you'll definitely lose some weight, you'll lose some muscle mass, but you'll also be looked at with no respect, at least for me.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, because that, my encouragement is, as far as like what I do, is most importantly is to get outside and move every day. But just that is not enough, right? Because you can go out and walk 2 or 3 times a day and then go back inside and eat, terrible food and not feel any better, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's some sort of movement is king, especially the older you get, right? You don't need to be beating yourself up in the gym. I think weight training, doing some strength training at least 3 times a week until you can't move anymore is highly beneficial. Muscle mass, we've seen study again. Muscle mass determines so much of your health. It is the building block to your body, your metabolism, to disease, everything. It kind of runs off of. So, but yeah, you got to be in a calorie deficit. That's why you see people, and I've had people come through and they think, oh, I'm just going to take this retatrutide, but they still end up not being in a calorie deficit. If you're not in a calorie deficit and your body's in dysfunction, you're not going to lose weight. So you've seen people, and I'm sure you guys have heard people tell you, yeah, I'm taking the GLP, but it's not working. I'm not losing weight.
Yeah.
Well, it's because you're still, bending that elbow too much and you're moving enough.
No, it's true. It's true.
Yeah. It's not just for some people, it really does the trick. The more overweight you are, the easier it is to lose weight. Right. But for other folks, it's not as simple as just taking the GLP and you're just wasting your money. These things are expensive. And if you are not doing, lifestyle aspects, or not controlling some of your lifestyle aspects and habits, and changing the way you think and the way you behave with them, yeah, they're not going to work. It is interesting what these GLPs do to your brain to some degree. For some people, it's stronger than others, but how it changes the way you process dopamine and you experience pleasure. So that is actually a side effect. I will tell you, like I said, I like to experiment with these things. So I wanted to try a high dose of retatrutide, any of the GLPs, but specifically because I haven't really tried the other ones, the retatrutide. You have it's called, well, you kind of lose interest. There's a word for it. I'm sorry, I'm blanking. But again, your pleasure senses are kind of dulled. So you're not as enthusiastic. You're not as energetic. You're a little bit more just even keeled, right? You're not having all these cravings, but it's to an area where it took away from my personality. It took away from the pleasure of having sex as much, right? Like it zaps your pleasure. And so too much of it, I've had a lot of friends and people experience that same thing of just kind of being like dull, like life's not as fun and as energetic, which I didn't like at all, because I'm an energy guy. So I love that.
Interesting.
It's a good word, man.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like that.
Yeah, you can look it up more. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the scientific word. Anemia. No, not anemia. I'm not gonna throw around words. But yeah, it's something that we're seeing in folks. Even my dad, I got Harry on some retatrutide, and he's lost a bunch of weight, and overall he's much healthier. But he was just feeling the same thing, just kind of dull. Kind of numbs you out a little bit when you take too much.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Dan, you don't want to be going dull in your marriage.
No, not we're running mainstream dose. That's it. We're keeping therapeutic dosing throughout.
That's so key. People think that's with everything in life, I believe. Moderation, right? Like you always start small with all these peptides. You give it time. Not everything you have to feel. Just because you don't feel it doesn't mean it's not working. That goes for weight loss. That goes for supplements, peptides, whatever it may be. So, we always start small. I believe a microdose of everything is how you start. And again, if you're doing the right things with the substance or whatever you're using, the medicine, you don't need a lot of this stuff. And so less is always more, I believe, when it comes to this side of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Josh, what would you say is one thing you've changed your mind about in the fitness industry over the last couple of years? Something that you used to believe that maybe you shifted away from?
Yeah, so when I first got in really good shape, actually in high school, when I first got lean, I started lifting weights, put on a lot of weight. I was drinking a liter of whole milk and a taqueria burrito every day. I was bulking up, and you guys know, oh my gosh, I miss the Mex. That's another thing I miss about Santa Cruz is the taquerias. I eat pretty clean, but I'm not afraid to eat a burrito now and then. I'm not afraid to go. I'm a foodie too. So, anyway, yeah, when I first started my fitness journey and first dropped weight, got the abs showing, I looked up, I was like, all right, how do I get shredded? It's like, oh, just don't eat carbs. And so I just didn't eat carbs, and I got shredded, but I felt terrible, and it didn't last long. I ended up binge eating and gaining the weight back eventually because it wasn't sustainable for me as an athlete with muscle mass and working out and burning energy at a high level. So, that's how I first, for the first 4 or 5 years of me working out, I thought, oh, like I just don't eat carbs. And I see so many people get caught up into this, especially men who they're crushing work, they're crushing their caffeine, their coffee, and they just think, oh yeah, I just won't eat, or I just won't eat carbs. I'll just do this carnivore diet. And there's some benefits for the basic. It depends on the individual. The carnivore diet can be a benefit in a certain time period of their health. But anyway, I was a big no carb guy, but I was young. I didn't know anything. So we're talking, 16 to 20.
Yeah.
And Yeah, I mean, carbs, I believe, it depends on the individual, right? This isn't just for anybody. Like my mother, for example, this does not apply to her. But if you are, 15 to 45, 50, even 60, and you have muscle mass, you're lean to some degree, you work out hard, you need carbohydrates. And I utilize carbohydrates with most all of my guys. And they always are like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I could eat so many carbs. I feel so good. My energy, my training, my sleep, everything. So I'm a really heavy believer in using carbs correctly. And a lot of people that come to me, and myself included when I started, was like, oh, I just don't eat carbs. Like that's how I'll get really lean. So I think that's a huge, huge limiting belief in a lot of people, and they just don't have the knowledge, and that's why I believe so heavily in what I do, teaching people about nutrition, about macros, about calories, about their body and how their body handles food and how to get their body to handle more food or be more insulin sensitive, like I mentioned before. It is one of the coolest things and the most beneficial tools to learn for your health, to actually learn about nutrition. Because otherwise, you're just someone scrolling, hearing this, hearing that. Oh, well, this person said this, and well, yeah, Sherry over here doesn't eat carbs, and oh my God, she looks great, so I'm not going to do this. But you don't have any actual knowledge. So I've always been big on like, I really nowadays with so many different pieces of information. If you guys hear anything we say, go fact check it, go figure it out for yourself, and do double research on anything you hear. Don't be the person that just believes what you see, because most of the time, who knows who's putting it out, what the agenda is behind it. That's something that my parents always taught me to do, is think for myself and go get my own answers through research and my own exploration.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So good. What people that are listening today or listening in the future that are on that edge of making a decision to go to retatrutide or Ozempic or start working out, what can you've said a lot of good things today. How can you encourage them today to take that next step?
Yeah. I mean, think about what you want for your life.
Mhm.
What Russ mentioned at the beginning of this, the vision for your life. I'll speak directly towards men because that's who I work with specifically. And, I believe if your health isn't in order and you're not tapping into that pillar, you aren't successful. You're missing a fundamental key, a pillar to your life to live the best life possible. So if you have optimized energy, testosterone, overall, your energy from the inside out, and you feel really good, you're going to be able to serve everybody at such a higher level. Your quality of life is going to be so much better. So if you're found yourself in a place where you're dysregulated, you have no energy, you're overweight, all these things, right? Where you want to start your journey, flip a switch, right? You have one life. You got to realize, you got to look in the mirror, stop making excuses, take full accountability for every single thing in your life, start building some discipline. Like it's not easy, but it's simple. My friend Michael Smoke, if you guys know who he is, you should go check him out. He that's his line, so I won't take that from him. But it's not the hardest thing in the world, right? Like you got to just cut the excuses, take full accountability, and start putting into work. And I guarantee you, your quality of life is going to be so much better, night and day. It's not even a question. So, yeah, I mean that's a long kind of answer to your question, but just start, right. Like don't get too just distracted or overwhelmed with like how far you have to go, because you probably have to spend some time. How many years did it take you to get to where you're at, right? It's going to take you years to get to where you want to go. So just one foot at a time, focus on the basics. I actually recommend don't get distracted by peptides and supplements, and start focusing on yourself. Start focusing on the stories you tell yourself. Start focusing on your habits, and every single day get a daily habits that are going to move you forward. Start with small things. Learn about your nutrition. Start moving your body in one way or another, whether it's just you're starting to walk more, you're hitting 10,000 steps a day, you're getting in the gym, you're investing in a coach, a mentor that's going to help you with your health. But You need to walk. You need to drink enough water. You need to get good sleep. You need to manage your central nervous system and your stress, the parasympathetic versus the sympathetic. You need to move your body, right? And that's it. Like I said, with 5 or 6 things. It's not the most complex thing in the world, but you have to be consistent with it. So again, focus on the day by day. Don't get too overwhelmed with how far you have to go. And get in an environment that benefits you. Most people are in an environment that's not benefiting them at all. So out of the house, there's people that are distracting you. Get a coach, join a community of like-minded individuals that are going to help you through it. I believe that that's a superpower for so many people, whether it's like, their spouse or their family or their, people around them at work are all not who they want to be or distracting them. So but just simplify it to answer your question.
I love that. Yeah. Great word, Josh.
Focus on the basics. It's not the most complex thing in the world. All the answers are right in front of us. They've always been in front of us. It's move your body, get outside. Don't be on the computer all day. Eat good food. Go to bed. Go to bed. Like don't eat the stuff on the shelf that has 1,000 chemicals, right? Like just be the human you were meant to be 1,000 years ago. I guarantee you'll be a lot healthier. Go jump in the ocean. Go yell. I don't know. It's people. We overcomplicate everything when it comes to our health.
Sure.
And don't get a full leg tattoo in 3 days.
Yeah, and if you do, I mean, oh man, you should have heard my mom. And there is some study. Like I put some poison in my body for sure. We've been slowly doing things to get it out, to drain it. Lymphatic drainage is super important. Something I like to practice. But anyway, there was some ink in me. There was some poison in me, but whatever.
Look at him now.
That's all right. Everything in moderation. Everything in moderation.
Yeah, everything in moderation.
Everything in moderation.
Oh, that's awesome.
Seriously.
This has been a great podcast.
Absolutely.
Super informative. A lot of information came across today. Josh, thank you so much for being here. We'd like to close out with this question or this statement, and I'm going to ask you, Josh, what it means to you. So we have this statement that we close out every episode with, and that statement is, wellness is not about perfection, it's about progress. What would you say that statement means to you?
It's all about you. So listening, if we want to be better for others, it starts internally, right? So wellness is not about progress. What is it again?
Wellness is not about perfection, but it's about progress.
Right. So for you, you're doing your wellness journey, your health for you. You got to remember that. Maybe it's for other people as well, because you know how much it's going to impact them, but you're not going to be able to serve them until you are happy and you're content and you are serving yourself. You are putting energy into your vessel. So progress for you is not, it can be measured in ways that you may not even think, right? The small little things, having a journal, having goals, having these short-term milestones that you place. And as long as you're happy, I believe, like humans, we just want peace internally. We just want to experience life, and we want to be peaceful. We don't have all this stress and all this crazy stuff going along. So, taking account and taking into account and understanding, okay, like where did I get more peace today? Where did I come through and do what I said I was going to do? How did I move the needle forward? How did I win the day? So small little things, and just being present enough to see those things play out is really what wellness is. And that's all going to turn into progress. So, I think that's a great question.
Well said, man.
How about you? Don't let anybody else determine and label your wellness journey. That's why I would say, look in the mirror. Where you're going good and where you're full of it. So like, you got to know, I did pretty good today, like genuinely, or full of crap.
Well, if you are out there and you are listening today or in the future, and you're on that brink of making a decision, or maybe you need a coach in your life, maybe you need somebody that's in fitness, or maybe you're considering, peptides, GLP-1s, and you're looking for somebody to coach you right here in front of us today, Josh Friedman, make sure you connect with him. And Josh, how can people find you today if they want to hit you up through a DM or email or whatever?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. That's my main platform. We're on some other ones as well, but _ Josh Friedman, spelled Friedman, so Friedman. And yeah, shoot me a DM. I got a whole bunch of resources and guides that I've built out that if you just introduce yourself, I'm happy to send you over, and we can start up a conversation, or you can just grab some of my value. I believe I like to just give with no expectation in return. And if you need help, which you might, because we all do, hit me up and I'm happy to help. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram. And yeah, guys, thank you for having me on. This was fun.
Thank you, man.
We might have to do part 2 where we just talk about more entrepreneurial vision, starting a business.
Yeah,
that
done
kind of
deal,
stuff.
man.
We've definitely got a part 2 going for sure.
Okay, man. We'll bring you back.
This has been great, man. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Josh.
Of course. Thanks for having me on, fellas. Crush the week.
Absolutely. Everybody, please check out Josh on his Instagram at _Josh Friedman.
Yep.
Please check us out on all social media handles at Dual Coast Podcast. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, as always on our YouTube channel, where we are live on Instagram simultaneously every Tuesday morning. Please check out Josh again for all your coaching needs and transformational needs. We will see everybody next week. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you. See you guys.
Take care, man.